is a mail carrier here. White Durango fled westbound from this location on Harvard towards Ashland.
Neighbors who didn't want to go on camera telling ABC7 they saw that car driving down the street before hearing at least 10 gunshots.
U.S. postal workers are the heart of the country. The individuals who carelessly deliver mail to millions of citizens across the U.S. In recent incidents, postal workers have become the target of vicious and violent crimes, and their safety is a major concern. This story takes us to Chicago, the largest municipality in the state of Illinois, with a population of over 2 million residents. A place where thousands of postal workers serve the community, and it is also the place where a postal worker was recently murdered. On Friday, July 19th, 2024, a female postal worker was going about her morning as usual, delivering mail on her route that she had been assigned to for 2 years. Around 11:40 a.m., as she was approaching the gate of a home on South Holland Avenue to deliver the mail, an unknown male approached her and gunshots erupted, murdering 48-year-old Octavia Redmond. And her story deserves to be written and told. Welcome to Crime She Wrote. Octavia Redmond was a native of Chicago. She was a loving wife, mother, daughter, and co-worker, just to name a few. And she was described as a loving person who always had a smile on her face. She had been an employee of the post office for 15 years, where she worked with her husband. She was enjoying her life and living life to the fullest until it was cut to a tragic end.
I want you to take a look right here behind me. Now you are going to see the postal truck still here at the scene. Next to that truck, you see a large number of U.S. Postal Service police investigating this murder. The postal worker was standing in front of a home right at that intersection when she was shot by someone multiple times.
We have gunshot wound to the right side of the neck, 2 gunshot wounds to the hip, and 1 to the, I'm not sure how many to the chest, but she was shot on the chest.
Postal worker Octavia Redmond was taken to Christ Hospital where she died. Redmond, who was 48 years old, was in front of a home near West 122nd Street and South Harvard Avenue just after 11 this morning. That's when police say an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady.
Kim Sanders says she would see Redmond on South Harvard Avenue nearly every day.
Whenever she comes, she always smiling like, "Hey, how you doing, Kim? Do you want me to put the mail in the mailbox or you want me to hand it to you?" She just come up and down the block and just deliver the mail. Didn't bother nobody. So it's like it's devastated to the area. It was amazing to hear that she got shot on this particular block.
A federal agent with the U.S. Postal Service was at the scene along with numerous Chicago police officers and detectives.
Investigating the loss of life is the most important thing we can do. So when we lose one of our own, a postal employee, we take it as seriously as anything we could do in this job. This is why we're here. We do have other, jobs and other things to investigate as well, obviously, but all those things take a backseat when something like this happens today.
They were going door to door, speaking with those on the block and seeing if any of the houses with surveillance systems captured the crime on camera. A white Durango was seen leaving the area right after the shooting.
This incident is one of several crimes against postal workers that has taken place in Chicago over the last several weeks. And the union president spoke out in an interview with the news stations, demanding for something to be done to protect the postal workers in the community.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
Some letter carriers in Chicago say they wonder if they could be next after one of their own was killed on Friday.
How is this possible? that people can walk up or drive up and shoot a woman that was clearly identified as a mail carrier in broad daylight, and you expect us to continue with business as usual.
Members of the local National Organization of Letter Carriers gathered today at their union office 3 days after carrier Octavia Redmond was shot and killed on the job in West Pullman. Chicago police and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service are investigating and following leads on tips they've received.
We want to make sure that we do right by Octavia and to get justice for her and her family, her friends, her coworkers, and, her community.
Meanwhile, those at the letter carrier's office demand action, or they say they cannot work where they don't feel safe. The union reports more than 140 carriers have been attacked on the job in Chicago in the last 2 years.
And though we take pride in our jobs, if we are not safe, you will not get mail.
We have to do something. We have to look out for each other because the Postal Service, in my opinion, they're not doing enough to protect us.
Now let's get into the details of this case. This was an experienced postal worker who had been working that same route for 2 years, so she knew the route very well. A witness who was standing in her kitchen at the time of the shooting reported that she heard a total of 10 shots. In my opinion, it sounds like he targeted her and murdered her in a rage. Could it have been someone she knew? After the shooting, the unknown male fled the scene in a white Dodge Durango. The Durango was found the next day, torched in a field.
A white Dodge Durango believed to be the getaway car in the murder of 48-year-old postal carrier Octavia Redmond, discovered torched here at 89th and South Holland Avenue.
It's just shocking. I mean, they're doing their job.
This neighbor didn't want to be identified, but told me Redmond had just delivered mail to her home. Seconds later, she heard at least 8 gunshots while in the kitchen.
And so I came up to the living room and I looked out this window and I didn't see anything. Then I looked out the side window and I saw her laying on the ground. And I'm like, that's the postal worker.
It happened here at 121st and South Harvard just after 11:30 a.m. Friday. Police say the gunman jumped in a car and quickly left the area.
This is in fact the exact house that it happened at. Sources telling us that the killer followed Redmond onto the property. She was shot multiple times. Her items were laying right here in front. Sources telling us it does not appear to be a robbery.
There's no need for that type of violence against people who are doing their job.
The Postal Service has issued a cash reward of up to $250,000 for any information leading to an arrest in this case, and all tips can remain anonymous. This family deserves justice, and I pray that an arrest is made in this case. I offer my sincere condolences and prayers to the family, friends, and co-workers of Octavia Redmond. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Let me know your thoughts on this story in the comment section below. And before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Crime Mob, stay safe out there and always watch your surroundings. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.